The quantum anomaly appeared on a Tuesday. Dr. Sarah Chen was reviewing data from the Deep Space Quantum Observatory when she noticed it. A pattern so precise it made her coffee cup freeze halfway to her lips. After 15 years of scanning the cosmos for signs of intelligent life, she'd learned to recognize the difference between natural phenomena and artificial signals. This was neither. "Director Matthews needs to see this," she whispered, her fingers already flying across the holographic interface. The pattern pulsed with an otherworldly rhythm, each quantum fluctuation perfectly timed, like a cosmic heartbeat. Within hours, the observatory's main conference room was packed with Earth's leading scientists. The air hummed with tension as Sarah presented her findings. The signal operates on multiple quantum frequencies simultaneously, she explained, gesturing to the complex waveforms dancing across the display. "It's not just communication. It's a test." Director Matthews leaned forward, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic display. "A test? What makes you say that?" Sarah manipulated the display, zooming in on specific patterns. "See these sequences? They're problems. Mathematical and physical challenges that increase in complexity. Each solution reveals the next layer of the message. But here's the thing. The signal isn't broadcasting to everyone. It's specifically calibrated to be detected only by civilizations that have achieved quantum observation capabilities." The room erupted in murmurs. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the head of Xenopsychology, spoke up. "You're suggesting this is some sort of entrance exam?" "Exactly." Sarah nodded. "And we're not the first to take it. There are echoes in the signal, quantum shadows of previous attempts. Hundreds, maybe thousands of them. All failed." The weight of her words settled over the room. Humanity wasn't just discovering alien life. They were being evaluated by it. Director Matthews stood, his voice cutting through the tension. "How long do we have to respond?" "The signal's intensity is increasing," Sarah replied. "Based on its current rate, we have 72 hours before it peaks. After that," she shrugged, "we might not get another chance." The next 3 days became a blur of activity. The world's quantum computing networks were linked together in an unprecedented collaboration. Scientists worked around the clock, poring over the signal's puzzles while military leaders debated the risks of responding. Sarah barely slept, fueled by determination and synthetic caffeine. Each layer of the signal they decoded revealed new mysteries. The challenges weren't just tests of technological advancement. They required creative solutions, lateral thinking, and most importantly, cooperation. "It's not just testing our intelligence," she explained during an emergency UN Security Council meeting. "It's testing our approach to problem-solving itself. The solutions require combining multiple scientific disciplines in ways we've never considered." As the deadline approached, humanity faced a choice. The final decoded message was clear. To those who dare to answer, be prepared for trials beyond imagining. Success brings enlightenment. Failure brings oblivion. Choose wisely. Some argued for caution, suggesting the risks were too great. Others saw it as humanity's greatest opportunity. In the end, it wasn't the world leaders who made the decision. It was Sarah. In the final hour, as governments still debated, she input the solution sequence they'd developed. The quantum signal pulsed once, brilliantly, then transformed into a set of coordinates and a single message. "Humanity accepts. Prepare your best. The trials begin." The response was immediate. Quantum distortions appeared in Earth's orbit, massive tears in spacetime that seemed to defy physics itself. Through them, strange vessels emerged, their designs impossible to comprehend. Director Matthews found Sarah in her lab, staring at the readings. "You took quite a risk," he said quietly. She turned to him, her eyes bright with determination. "We've spent our entire history looking up at the stars, wondering if we're alone. Now we know we're not. And something out there thinks we might be special. How could we not answer?" As the alien ships approached Earth, humanity began to mobilize. Whatever trials awaited them, they would face them together. The quantum signal had tested their resolve, their intelligence, and their courage. Now it was time to prove that humanity's greatest strength wasn't just their ability to solve problems. It was their unwavering determination to face the unknown. The universe had called out, seeking something specific among the countless civilizations scattered across the cosmos. And only humanity had dared to answer in just the right way. The real test was about to begin. The UES Hyperion emerged from quantum space 3 months after humanity's response to the signal. The massive vessel, Earth's first true interstellar ship, carried humanity's finest minds and bravest souls. Among them was Dr. Sarah Chen, whose decision to answer the signal had set everything in motion. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood at the bridge's observation window, watching the unfamiliar stars streak past. The ship's quantum drive, reverse-engineered from the technology gifted by their mysterious benefactors, allowed them to traverse vast distances in ways that defied conventional physics. "Status report," Maya called out, her voice steady despite the weight of responsibility she carried. Lieutenant James O'Connor responded from his station. "All systems nominal, Captain. The quantum coordinates are holding steady. We're approaching the first trial point." The trials. That's what the aliens had called them. A series of challenges scattered across the galaxy, each more difficult than the last, designed to test not just technology, but the very essence of what made humanity unique. Sarah worked at her console, analyzing the incoming data. The first trial point pulsed on their sensors like a beacon. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual quantum fluctuations ahead. They match the pattern from the original signal. But there's something different about them." Before Maya could respond, the ship's AI, spoke up. "Warning. Detecting spatial anomaly forming directly ahead. Configuration unknown." The crew watched in awe as space itself seemed to fold inward, creating a massive structure that hadn't been there moments before. It was beautiful and terrifying. A massive geometric construct that seemed to be made of light and darkness simultaneously. "That's not natural," Sarah muttered, her fingers flying over her console. "The quantum signatures. It's like it's reading us, analyzing our responses." Maya straightened her uniform. "Let's not keep our host waiting. Take us in, Helm. Nice and easy." As the Hyperion approached the construct, a message appeared across all screens in pristine English. "To proceed, solve that which cannot be solved. Time is both infinite and non-existent. Choose wisely." The crew exchanged glances. This was what they had trained for. The unknown, the impossible, the challenges that would push human ingenuity to its limits. Sarah's eyes widened as she studied the readings. "Captain, the construct is generating temporal paradoxes, multiple timelines, all existing simultaneously. It's asking us to navigate through time itself." "Can we do it?" Maya asked, though she already knew the answer. Humanity hadn't come this far to turn back. Sarah smiled. "The quantum drive doesn't just move us through space. It manipulates space-time itself. If we can synchronize the drive's frequencies with the construct's temporal fields, we could surf the paradox." Lieutenant O'Connor finished, already adjusting the ship's systems. "Use the contradictions to our advantage instead of trying to resolve them." Maya nodded. "Make it happen. This is why we're here, to find solutions where others saw only problems." The next hours were intense as the crew worked to modify their quantum drive. Other species might have tried to solve the temporal paradox directly, but humanity took a different approach. Instead of fighting against the impossible situation, they adapted to work within it. The Hyperion's engines hummed with new frequencies as they initiated their plan. The ship began to exist in multiple temporal states simultaneously, each version of itself helping to stabilize the others. It was dangerous, unprecedented, and exactly the kind of creative thinking the trials seemed designed to test. As they navigated through the temporal maze, more messages appeared. Unexpected approach. Analyzing methodology. Proceeding with enhanced parameters, the construct began to shift, becoming more complex, but the crew was ready. Each new challenge was met with the same determination and innovative thinking. Where pure logic failed, human intuition and creativity found a way forward. Finally, after what felt like both an instant and an eternity, they emerged on the other side. The construct pulsed once more before dissolving back into the fabric of space, leaving behind new coordinates and a message. First trial completed. Methodology: unique. Approach: unprecedented. Progress to second trial initiated. Prepare for escalation. Maya let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. Well done, everyone. Especially you, Dr. Chen. Your quantum drive modifications were brilliant. Sarah shook her head. It wasn't just me. That's what they're testing. Our ability to work together, to combine different perspectives and approaches. No single person could have navigated that trial alone. As the crew prepared for their next challenge, they couldn't help but wonder what other impossible situations awaited them. But they had proven something important. When faced with a paradox, humanity didn't just try to solve it. They found ways to turn it to their advantage. The Hyperion set course for the second trial coordinates, its crew more confident than ever. Whatever lay ahead, they would face it with the unique combination of intelligence, creativity, and determination that made humanity stand out among the stars. The Hyperion drifted in the shadow of a dying star, its hull reflecting the deep crimson light. After completing 5 increasingly difficult trials, they had arrived at these coordinates expecting another test. Instead, they found something far more profound. "I've never seen anything like this," Sarah whispered, staring at the massive structure before them. It was a sphere of impossible size, its surface covered in patterns that seemed to shift and change as they watched. But unlike the trial constructs, this felt ancient, worn by millions of years of cosmic radiation. Captain Maya Rodriguez studied the readings with growing concern. Those energy signatures, they're similar to the quantum signal that brought us here, but they're degrading. "Captain," Araya's voice carried an unusual note of urgency. "I'm detecting a transmission. It's different from the trial messages, more organic." The bridge crew fell silent as a figure materialized in the center of the command deck, a hologram, but one so advanced it appeared almost solid. The being before them was tall and ethereal, with features that seemed to blend aspects of countless different species. "Greetings, children of Earth," the figure spoke, its voice resonating with ancient wisdom. "I am the echo of Sentinel Prime, the last surviving memory of the precursor civilization. You have proven yourselves worthy of knowing the truth." Sarah stepped forward, her heart pounding. The trials, they weren't just tests, were they? The hologram's expression shifted to something resembling pride. No, they were a search. For millions of years, we have watched countless civilizations rise and fall. Some achieved great technological advancement. Others mastered the fundamental forces of the universe. But none showed the particular combination of traits we sought. Until humanity. The echo gestured, and the space around them, filled with images of different alien species attempting the trials. Some approached with pure logic, others with overwhelming force. All failed. "Our civilization achieved what many thought impossible," the echo continued. "We learned to manipulate the very fabric of reality, to bend space and time to our will. But with that power came a terrible burden, the knowledge that the universe itself was under threat." The hologram waved its hand, and a new image appeared, a visualization of reality itself being consumed by something that defied description. "We called it the Void Cascade, a fundamental breakdown in the laws of physics, spreading across the cosmos like a cancer. We managed to contain it, but the effort cost us everything. Our civilization burned out its own essence to buy the universe time." Captain Rodriguez's voice was steady despite the weight of this revelation. "And now you need someone to take your place." "Yes," the echo nodded, "but not just any civilization. We needed one that could think beyond conventional boundaries, that could adapt and innovate in ways we never imagined. The trials weren't measuring your technological advancement. They were testing your potential. Sarah's mind raced as pieces fell into place. The temporal paradox trial. We didn't solve it the way you did we? No, the echoes seemed to smile. Where we spent centuries developing technology to stabilize temporal anomalies, you simply found a way to exist within them. Every trial you faced, you approached differently than any species before you. You didn't just overcome obstacles, you transformed them into advantages. The hologram turned to face the entire crew. Humanity's greatest strength isn't your technology or your intelligence. It's your ability to face the impossible and find new ways to make it possible. Where others see rigid rules, you see opportunities. Where others fear chaos, you learn to dance with it. Lieutenant O'Connor spoke up from his station. The Void Cascade. How long do we have? The barriers we created will hold for another century, perhaps two. Long enough for humanity to prepare if you accept this burden. But know this, containing the cascade will require more than just technological might. It will demand creativity, adaptation, and solutions that even we couldn't imagine. Captain Rodriguez looked at her crew, seeing the same determination in their eyes that had brought them this far. And if we decline, then we will continue our search, the Echo said simply. But in all our observations of your species, we've noticed something unique. You never back down from a challenge, especially when others depend on you. Sarah stepped forward. The quantum signal, it wasn't just a test. It was a cry for help, wasn't it? The Echo's form flickered slightly. Yes, many species heard it, but only humanity dared to answer. Only humanity understood that in the face of the impossible, the greatest risk is not trying at all. The ancient being's form began to fade. My energy wanes. If you accept this legacy, place your hand on the console. The knowledge of eons will be yours, though how you use it, that will be uniquely human. As the hologram disappeared, Captain Rodriguez turned to her crew. This isn't a decision I can make alone. We all heard the stakes. What we decide here affects not just Earth, but all of existence. Sarah moved to the console, her hand hovering over it. They chose us because we think differently, because we see possibilities where others see dead ends. Maybe that's exactly what the universe needs right now. One by one, the crew nodded their agreement. Humanity had spent its existence looking up at the stars, dreaming of its place among them. Now they knew. They weren't just meant to join the galactic community. They were meant to save it. The console hummed beneath Sarah's palm as she made contact, and the knowledge of an ancient civilization began to flow. The universe had called out for help, and humanity had answered. Now they would show the cosmos why that call had been answered by the right species at the right time. The transfer of the precursor's knowledge changed everything. In the weeks that followed, humanity began to understand the true scope of what they faced. The Void Cascade wasn't just a breakdown of physics. It was reality itself unraveling, spreading through the cosmos like cracks in glass. The Hyperion's quantum lab had been transformed into a testing chamber, where Sarah Chen worked to merge human intuition with precursor science. Holographic displays showed the spread of the cascade across multiple dimensions, its tendrils of entropy reaching through space and time. The precursors tried to fight it directly. Sarah explained to Captain Rodriguez, gesturing at the simulations. They built barriers of pure energy, tried to contain it with raw power. But look at these patterns. The cascade adapted, found ways around their defenses. Maya studied the display, her brow furrowed. Like an immune system response. The more they fought it, the stronger it became. Exactly. Sarah's eyes lit up. But what if we stop trying to fight it? What if we try something the precursors never considered? Lieutenant O'Connor joined them, carrying new sensor readings. The cascade's reaching the edge of the containment field. We've got months at best before it breaks through. Sarah manipulated the holographic display, zooming in on the quantum structure of the cascade itself. The precursors saw this as a cancer in reality's fabric. But what if it's more like a programming error? A corruption in the universe's base code. You want to debug the universe? Maya asked, a hint of amazement in her voice. Better, Sarah grinned. I want to rewrite it. The precursors gave us their knowledge, but they also gave us their limitations, their way of thinking. We need to approach this the human way. Over the next days, the crew worked tirelessly. They combined Earth's quantum computing techniques with precursor technology in ways their benefactors had never imagined. Where the ancients had built walls, humanity sought to build bridges. It's working, Sarah announced one morning, her voice hoarse from lack of sleep. The test chamber hummed with energy as their prototype engaged with a simulated fragment of the cascade. Instead of trying to contain or destroy it, their device did something unprecedented. It began to reshape it. We're not fighting the breakdown of reality, she explained to the gathered crew. We're guiding it, like a river changing course. A cascade isn't just destruction, it's change. And humans, we've always been good at adapting to change. But theory and practice were different beasts. As they prepared to test their solution at the edge of precursor containment, the cascade showed its true power. Reality buckled around them, space itself twisting into impossible shapes. Hull integrity failing. O'Connor shouted as alarms blared throughout the ship. The cascade's affecting our quantum drive. Maya's voice cut through the chaos. Sarah, we need options. Sarah's fingers flew across her console, making adjustments as reality itself tried to tear apart around them. The cascade's not just breaking down physics, it's trying to establish new laws. If we can't stop it, her eyes widened with sudden inspiration. We guide it, help it find a stable configuration. You want to negotiate with physics? Maya asked, gripping her chair as the ship shuddered. Why not? Humans have always been good at finding middle ground. Area, reconfigure the quantum drive. Don't fight the new physics. Help them integrate with the old ones. The AI complied, and the ship's systems began to pulse with new energy. Where the precursors had tried to maintain the old laws of physics at any cost, humanity chose to embrace change while preserving what was essential. Slowly, impossibly, it began to work. The violent breakdown of reality transformed into something else, a controlled evolution. The cascade's energy didn't disappear, but it changed, becoming something new, something stable. It's like teaching reality to heal itself, Sarah whispered, watching the reading stabilize. Instead of forcing it to stay the same, we're helping it grow. Maya watched as the chaos around their ship began to settle into new patterns. Will it hold? This is just the beginning, Sarah replied. We'll need to expand this effect, create a network across the galaxy. But we've proved it's possible. We can save the universe not by preserving it exactly as it is, but by helping it become what it needs to be. The crew of the Hyperion had done what the precursors thought impossible. They'd found a way to work with the very force that threatened to destroy everything. It wasn't just about raw power or advanced technology. It was about understanding that sometimes the best way to solve a problem was to change how you looked at it. As they prepared to return to Earth with their discovery, they knew this was just the first step. Humanity would need to unite like never before to build a network of quantum devices across the galaxy. But they had proven something important. The universe had chosen the right species for this task. Because only humans would look at the breakdown of reality itself and see not just destruction, but opportunity. Only humans would try to negotiate with physics, and only humans would be crazy enough to think it might just work. 10 years after the Hyperion's discovery, Earth had changed beyond recognition. Quantum technology, merged with human innovation, had transformed cities into marvels that would have seemed impossible a decade ago. But humanity's greatest achievement stretched across the stars. A network of reality stabilization points, each one helping to guide the universe through its evolution. The Hyperion, now joined by a fleet of similar vessels, maintained its position at the edge of what was once called the Void Cascade. Captain Maya Rodriguez, her hair now streaked with silver, stood at her familiar position on the bridge, watching as reality itself danced with newfound purpose. Final stabilization point is online, Sarah Chen announced from her station, her voice carrying the weight of a decade's work. The quantum physicist had become something more over the years, part scientist, part artist, helping to paint new laws of physics across the cosmos. The network is complete. Through the view screen, they could see it, threads of quantum energy connecting their stabilization points, forming a vast web that spanned the galaxy. Where the precursors had built walls, humanity had built bridges. Where they had sought to contain, humanity had sought to transform. Signal from Earth Command, Lieutenant O'Connor reported, now a commander himself. They're ready to begin the final phase. Maya nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. Send the activation code to all points. Let's remind the universe why it chose us. Across the galaxy, quantum stabilization points hummed to life. The network they'd created wasn't just holding reality together. It was helping it evolve, guiding it toward a new stability that neither the precursors nor the void cascade had imagined possible. Energy patterns are shifting, Sarah reported, watching as her displays filled with data. The cascade, it's not fighting us anymore. It's as if it recognizes what we're trying to do. Through their quantum sensors, they could see it happening. The force that had threatened to tear reality apart was being transformed, its destructive potential channeled into something new. The universe wasn't just being saved, it was being reborn. Message incoming, O'Connor announced suddenly. It's using the old precursor frequencies. The holographic projector sparked to life, but instead of the echo they'd met years ago, it showed something else, a visualization of reality itself, pulsing with new life and purpose. Within it, patterns formed that seemed to speak directly to their minds. It's thanking us, Sarah whispered, understanding flowing through her. The cascade, it was never meant to destroy. It was the universe trying to grow, to evolve, but it didn't know how. It needed guides. It needed us. Maya stepped forward, watching as new laws of physics settled into place across the cosmos. Laws that didn't just preserve life and consciousness, but encouraged them to flourish in ways even the precursors hadn't dreamed possible. The trials, she said softly. They weren't just looking for someone to stop the cascade. They were looking for someone who could understand it, who could help the universe become what it was meant to be. Through their quantum network, they could feel it. Countless alien civilizations awakening to the new reality, experiencing a universe that had been transformed not through force or containment, but through understanding and adaptation. Humanity hadn't just saved existence, they had helped it transcend. We're receiving signals from across the galaxy, O'Connor reported, his voice filled with awe. Other species, they want to learn from us. They want to understand how we did it. Sarah smiled, remembering that first quantum signal that had started it all. We'll teach them, not just the technology, but the way of thinking that made it possible. The ability to see solutions where others see only problems. The bridge crew watched as their displays showed the spread of their influence, not through conquest or dominance, but through inspiration. Other civilizations were already beginning to adapt their methods, learning to approach problems with human creativity and flexibility. The precursors chose well, Maya said, pride evident in her voice. They didn't just need someone to inherit their power. They needed someone who would use it differently than they did. Someone who could look at the impossible and see possibility. As the Hyperion prepared to return to Earth, they knew this wasn't an ending but a beginning. Humanity had proven itself not just worthy of inheriting the cosmos, but capable of transforming it. They had faced the ultimate challenge not with force or fear, but with innovation and hope. The universe had called for help, and humanity had answered. But they had done more than just answer. They had shown the cosmos itself a new way forward. In the end, that was humanity's greatest strength, not just solving problems, but reimagining them entirely. The stars seemed brighter now, pulsing with new potential. And somewhere, In the quantum threads that now bound reality together, the echo of the precursor's final message resonated. You have exceeded all expectations. The universe is in good hands. Humanity had inherited the void, but they had turned it into something more. A canvas for endless possibility. A space where imagination and reality danced together in perfect harmony. The greatest adventure wasn't just surviving the impossible, it was transforming it into the possible. And that was just the beginning.